Hello, this is Joseph Carlson, and this is episode 163 of Gaming with Grief, and I'm calling this episode TNMT Shredder's Revenge and Here to Slay Impressions. But I want to remind you guys before the podcast that this will hit my website, www.gamingwithgrief.com, Monday morning at 7 a.m. Please go there and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the show. You can also go to gwgpodfellows@gmail.com. Write me an email. Let me know what you think of the show. If there's a game you want me to review or something like that, drop it there. You can also subscribe to the podcast in either Apple iTunes, the Google Play Store, or Spotify. I'm also putting the podcast up in audio form on YouTube. And I think that's it for the intro. But my wife is here today on this Sunday. How you doing, baby?
Hello, I am doing good.
Good. Well, yeah, we both had a kind of a lazy day today. We're recording on Sunday. And, we got to play the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge game that is on Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
So, it's just to let everybody know, it's was published by Dotemu, and it was developed by Tribute Games. I heard an interview with one of the developers. They're out of Montreal. It's on IGN's podcast, NBC, the Nintendo podcast interview. I didn't write the guy's name down. I apologize. But Seth Macy and Kat Bailey interviewed him, and he is definitely a fan. In fact, when my wife and I were playing, one of the villains you fight, Ventress or something, she's like a female, like one of the bosses you fight. She is literally in 2 episodes, and the developer talked about how much he loved her and wanted to put her in the game. And so that kind of shows you the level of commitment to the game. But first off, what did you think, baby, when you were playing it?
I thought it was really great. It took me back to the 90s. Being a child of the 90s with that sort of side-scrolling, hitting, button punching type of game. It was just really fun to play.
Yeah, there's several different modes, and there's a lot of little challenges. Mm-hmm. I like it did have that button masher thing. You can play up to 6 players at once, which I think is pretty amazing for a button masher. Mm-hmm. Just to let everybody know, obviously, you can play as one of the turtles. The other characters are April O'Neil, which
I really enjoyed. Yep. And she literally drops a mic.
Yeah, at the end of every level, when you beat a boss, she drops her microphone, which is amazing. And you would chuckle every time you did it.
It was great.
It was such a good feeling
so fun.
To beat Bebop or Rocksteady.
Very short game.
Yeah, it's short. It's about 2 hours, but I actually like that because
I do too.
It's kind of when we got done, you're like, yeah, let's play next weekend. Let's play that again. It's not such a huge undertaking that you're like, oh, God, we got to do this. We're doing this again. Even we love The Division and The Division 2, but there was moments when you were playing that I got to do this mission again, and this was just kind of a blast. Now, admitting if we played it over and over and over, we get sick of it, but right now it's pretty good.
Yeah, right now it's great, and it's something we can play together. And the game mechanics are really cool, and I just really enjoy it. There's pizza boxes that lay out for help.
That's pretty, yeah.
Or whatever,
that's great. And then what I do like is they do something in this because they know you're probably going to... Well, just to back up a bit. So there's 6 players at once. There's 3 new characters you can play. April O'Neil, Splinter, which I played because he's a new character and I want to try him out. I really like him. Each character has a rating for speed, strength, and specials, I think, with a star rating. I actually don't know how far the stars go up, but they are rated from 1 to 5, I would imagine, or 4. But I played Splinter because he was new. I liked him. All the new characters have a special, which is kind of neat. Then other 6 character is... there's 7 characters, actually. There's 4 turtles and 3 new. There's Splinter, April O'Neil, and if you beat the game, you unlock Casey Jones.
Yes, which we did.
We both did because we played the game. It only takes about 2 hours to beat. Like we said, it was short. We'll probably have to flip a coin or something to see who can play Casey next time. Because I want to play Casey.
Well,
but you probably
I will, I'll just let you do it.
Yeah, and then maybe the next time we play it, you could be Casey Jones.
I mean...
I will say that you played Michelangelo, and he was your favorite. When you played
Michelangelo
the
was my favorite
in the cartoon.
In the cartoon
right.
and the movies.
Right.
But I will say Leonardo is faster.
Yeah, you played Leonardo a bit. There was a little sticky. We didn't read a wiki or anything. We were just kind of playing it. Let's just sit down and play. There is a way to select new characters because you got game over and then there was a way you were selecting a new character. I accidentally backed out of a menu while you were doing that. So between both of us screwing up, I don't know how to do that. But there is a way if you have a game over to go back. Hey, I don't really like Leo. Let me try Donatello or something, and I'm sure if we play it more, we'll be able to report back to that and like how easy that was. But you seem to like Leo, I think, more than you thought.
Leo was good.
Yeah, Leo or Michelangelo, you didn't like as much. I like Splinter. I mean, I see some of it is in the beginning they show you how to play the game. Like they're like, do this for a dash, and there's a lot more moves in this. You can do like a slide move. You can do like a dash backwards. You can do like a jump kick like you could in the first one, but you do like a jump, like a high kick, like a jump high kick, and like a down kick, like a dive kick. And you can throw people towards the screen like you could in the
That
other
was
kick.
great.
It's really good. Or
They
you could
hit the screen.
Yeah, or you
cool.
could bash people against the ground.
Yeah, did that.
You could do that. You could just grapple with people. So there's all these little things that, like, I don't know. There is this thing called the dojo with like challenges and stuff. Because each level, there's only 16 levels. Like we said, it only takes 2 hours to beat it. Each level has 1 or 2 challenges, like get through this level without being hit, or dodge all the obstacles in this level, or don't get hit twice by the obstacles, and you'll get a challenge, which I think unlocks more. I don't know what it unlocks. It was really fun. There was no challenges. Yeah. I will say, it did remind me of the arcade back in the day, where some of the flying enemies, like we were trying to hit them, and we were like, it seems like based on my shadow, I should be hitting this flying,
very unnecessarily hard to hit.
And I will say, we did figure out a thing. If you taunt, every character has a taunt. You did Michelangelo's where he dances, which is cool. And he says, party on, and he dances. If you complete the taunt, it takes like a second or two. You fill up one of your special meters, and then you unlock your specials. He moves his nunchucks around and hits everybody near him. Splinter does this thing where he just like teleports around you and hits everybody really quickly. His taunt is a meditation. All of them have taunts like that. Once we figured that out, I think we were halfway through, then we had to take a break, and then we played the other half. We figured that out. I was like, oh, just do this. So a lot of us would be punching on a boss or punching people, and the other person would be in the corner doing their taunt to get up their special meter. Each character has a power level. You can go in the dojo and find out how to unlock these. These unlock things like more health bars, more lives that you can accrue. Because I noticed when we completed a level, you gained a life. So if you did really well, I think you started the level with 3. If you didn't die, then you got up to 4. I think I had up to 5 at one point. But that goes to 10. You get an achievement. We played it on Xbox for getting everybody up to 10. That's not really a hardcore fan thing. I do think on the weekends, though, if nothing's going on, especially in the fall, if it's like a rainy day, and like you can't really go anywhere, it's a Sunday, things are closed.
It's just a nice little kickback, you don't really have to think about it too much type of game.
Yeah. And like I said, every character has a power level. They can get to 10. You can go and read your stats in the dojo. So like there's things in the mission. Like I got an in-game achievement and a real Xbox achievement for, as I was meditating, someone kicked me in the head. You get an achievement for being interrupted with your taunt. It's called Come On Man, which I thought was pretty good. We defeated an enemy with a special. I know a lot of people said that it's broken, that you can like basically sit in the corner, use your taunt, and then just fill up your special gauge. But there is a risk and reward where you will get hit and you leave yourself vulnerable while you're taunting. We did notice there's 2 cool features that we noticed. One was the spicy pizza. So if someone picks up the spicy pizza, they do like a cool move. Like Michelangelo spins around with his nunchucks, and you can just do that for however many seconds. Then there's like an infinity pizza, where if you grab that, you basically have unlimited special meter for 8 seconds or something like that.
That was pretty neat.
So you can just spam it.
Yeah.
There is strategy to bosses. There's 16 levels, but at the end of each thing, it was cleared in 5 to 7 minutes, I think. One level took us 11 minutes to do. So yeah, it's only a 2-hour game. I do want to try the other characters to see if I like them. I know early on even on the arcade, I wasn't a fan of Raph. I'd like to see if I like Raph a little bit more. I did like Splinter. He had cool combos. He did taunt people. He bowed his head. April always dropped her mic at the end of a level. It's the standard enemies. There's a lot of fan service because I forget the name of it and I didn't write it down. There's one robot turtle that Splinter built to beat you. You fight him. There's also a turtle, I think named Slash, that was some weird mutated turtle that didn't like the turtles, and I had his toy. I remember having his toy. You fight him. To me, tribute games and Dotemu kind of knew that this game is special. Obviously, hearing the interview with the creator again. Sorry, I didn't write it down. You can tell that he really much with the team loved the game. And he even said that there was a level called New York City 3 a.m. or Pizza Time, whatever the level's called. That was the name of one of the cartoons. So he said, we have this level, we're in New York, why aren't we calling it New York Big City 3 a.m. or whatever? And again, actually I heard in an interview that they're not the developers, but the people reviewing the game are like, imagine if they got like the license for the X-Men, the old X-Men side-scroller, like with Dazzler and Nightcrawler, like what these people could do with something like that when they obviously
I think it would be amazing.
Love the source material.
Yes.
Like, I think it is a great, fun game. Again, it's on Game Pass if you have Game Pass. I know it's on Switch. I heard it runs really well. We didn't have a problem connecting at all.
Not
Again,
at all.
you can play up to 6 people online. We talked about having our in-laws who play games with us download it, play it. But I can imagine with 2 of us, it's kind of chaotic. I can imagine with even up to 6 people, it will be completely crazy.
Yeah.
They do tell you when you're playing, they put an arrow on your character and say, here's where you are, because they know that you're going to get lost. And I think I accidentally hit like a trigger button and it just randomly would flash that. So if you lost yourself in the noise of fighting, you could find yourself. Like an arrow. An arrow would say, here's where you are. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Easy to do.
Yeah.
Even with 2 people.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. You
It's
like
great.
that? Yeah, it was really good.
I look forward to playing it again.
It was a great morning to just sit and watch, just play it. It was great. And Casey Jones looks pretty amazing. Like anyway, just a look of him, it's great. So definitely recommend that. And I think the second thing we're going to talk about is a board game that I on a whim picked up at the local board game store called Here to Slay. It is done by the same people that did. I think it's called. I was just looking at it. The game is called. I'm going to look it up online. Unstable Games. They they created Unstable Unicorns, which I've heard of before, but I've never played. But this game's called Here to Slay. Again, it's by Unstable Games. It's only $20. I picked it up. It's a card game. If anybody has played Munchkin before, where you bust down the door, fight a monster in the dungeon, get the loot, move on, it's kind of that. So what I really like is, again, this is a small box. When I look at a box like Twilight Imperium or a massive like Risk, you think, oh, this is going to be the rest of the day. And my wife's shaking her head right now. So she doesn't want to do that. This box is small, so right there you're like, okay, so this doesn't look intimidating. There can't be a lot of moving pieces. There's only 3 card decks that I can tell. You have 12 oversized monster cards, 6 oversized hero cards, and like 100 cards between modifications to your deck, heroes, items, and spells. Basically what you're doing is everybody at the table, I think you can play up to 6 people because you have 6 hero cards, is trying to basically create a party. You have a party leader, and then you have heroes. So your party leader is one of a class, like a bard, a fighter, a warrior, or bard, fighter, wizard, stuff like that. They have a special ability at the bottom. You read the card. Then you try to take heroes with your party. Those heroes take on the oversized monster cards, and there's certain requirements. Like if you roll 10 or above, you slay this monster. You win the game if you slay 3 monsters, and there's obviously penalties if you lose. You have to sacrifice some of your heroes, which is terrible. And then there is some cards in your deck where we didn't do it that much because we played 2 games. It was only like 30 minutes, I think, per game.
Yeah. If that, yeah.
Yeah, so they were pretty quick, which I really like.
Yeah,
because again, if you look at Risk or like Twilight Imperium, that's going to be the rest of your afternoon. At least with this, you're like, hey, we're done. It's been 40 minutes. What a great game. You can modify rolls based on cards you have in your hand. They also have challenge cards. So if a player, the opposing player tries something, you can literally throw a challenge down, try to stop them from doing something.
You can curse them.
You can curse items and curse their heroes. You also, all that is required is 2d6, which come with the game. So you roll 2d6. So like sometimes it'll say to slay a monster, you have to get an 8+. Sometimes some of your heroes have modifiers. Hey, with this hero in your party, you get +1 to all your rolls. Or with your party leader, re-roll whatever, re-roll this, or add 2 to your whatever. You also have things where your heroes also have statistics. So it's like if you roll 10 or higher, then you can add 6 to your roll or 5 to your roll, something like that. which is pretty cool. Now, you start the turn by basically have 3 actions you can take. You have 3 action points. Drawing a card takes a point. Spending a card takes a point. Casting a spell takes a point. Attacking a monster takes 2 points, and stuff like that. Anyway, it's really basic rules, but we really liked it, and it was, again, a really short game. We talked about playing it again. Here's the deal, guys. I'm going to level, ladies, whoever's listening to this, I'm going to level. When I bought the game, they had 2 expansions. I read on their website, the expansions have 2 new party leaders, 2 new monsters, and a bunch more heroes and spells. Looking pretty tempting to get those. They have druids and berserkers, and then they have necromancers and something else. They're 2 separate packs. You can buy those. They also on their website have dice depending on what class you pick. So you can roll the 2d6 based on you get the whole set. It comes in a bag. Whoever your party leader is, you roll those dice, which is pretty cool. They're color coded based on the colors that they've chosen for each class. That's pretty cool. They also have play mats because they show you how to lay the cards out on the table, which you could totally do. You don't need the play mat, but they have one based on every party leader. So if you were really into this game, which I'm not going to go this far, but you could buy, I really love the fighter, I want this playmat to go with my fighter, or, hey, I bought the one for the ranger, I want to have that playmat, and this is what I'm playing, and then we'll swap, whatever. All that stuff means that you're very into the game. I'll say, online, this game retails for $20, so really, I mean, I think it's already paid for itself.
It has,
yeah. What did you like about it when you're playing the game?
I just love this because we can play this together, and it's not something that's extremely intricate and takes up all day to do.
Right, and then, the first game took a little bit. I took some rules out because I was like, hey, there's only 2 of us. I don't want to challenge you or screw you up. Let's just play the game and get through this and see how bad this is. You won the first game. We added some stuff, and that game actually took some, because we added some rules back in. We were kind of reading the rules at the same time. The game took a little bit longer, but there was actually some stakes. She made me discard a few cards. I verbally cursed her by telling her, I hope you don't roll a 5. Yep, she rolled a 5. So, you know.
And then a turn later, I rolled another one, the same thing.
Yeah, I said, wow, I hope you don't roll a 7 or whatever. You rolled that. So, yeah. So she's really mad. She's been stink-eyeing me all afternoon. But again, it's really fun. Unstable Games, go to their website if you want to look. There's a little intro video. You can see the box card sets. It's rough. It's rough to not go to the game store and get the expansions. I think we'll play this a couple more times. Because we haven't really seen all the monsters, I think, yet. Because once you defeat a monster, you pull a monster off the top pile. But there's only 12. But some of them are pretty dastardly. Like, some of them make you discard 2 or 3 cards. Some of them make you sacrifice a hero if you lose. Yeah. But they give you benefits if you have one in your hand. Like, she got one, the first game we played, that you add 1 to all your rolls, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's
and pretty... that stacks with the other heroes, where if you have a hero that you add 1, all that stuff stacks. So there is a lot of strategy. I could see where it would be more interesting if there was more people at the table, because she had a card that says you cannot destroy a hero. Certain cards would destroy heroes. So I could look at her and say, I want to destroy one of your heroes. And she said, nah, I defeated this monster. You can't destroy any of my heroes. I'd have to start looking around the table and figuring out. It's just like, I remember Munchkin back in the day, we played that. Yeah. And there is a lot of alliances of like, well, this person's about to win. I should probably defeat them. Not worry about this person that only has whatever. And then we'll go from there. And I can see that happening here, especially if you have a lot of heroes, if a lot's going on, stuff like that. So, I definitely recommend this one. You recommend?
It's a good game. I totally recommend it.
Yeah. And one thing I want to shout out really quickly, they said don't judge a book by its cover, but this art style is amazing.
It's great.
It's adorable.
The creatures are so adorable. Even the monsters are
the monsters are kind of cute. Way. One of them looks like a unicorn.
Yeah.
With like scales, but I'd still hug it.
You're on your own with that.
Yeah, one of them is named like I believe one of the fighters has like claws for hands, and he's named Bear Claw. Yeah. And then wasn't one of them named Scruffy or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was a gerbil named Scruffy that was a thief. Cats are thieves in this game.
They're really cute, and like he said, the art style is so good.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, again, they tell you not to judge a book by its cover, but when something's cute, you stick with it. So we definitely recommend this. This was just kind of an episode where we wanted to do stuff together and play stuff together, and I wanted to have you on to talk about it.
Yeah, it was great.
So, but I think that's going to do it for this week, guys. Just to remind you guys that this podcast will hit my website, www.gamewithgrief.com, Monday morning at 7 a.m. Please go there and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the show. You can also, leave a game if you want me to review it there. Or you can go to gwgpodfellows@gmail.com. Same thing. If there's a game you want me to review, leave it there. You can also let me know what you think of the show, or if you have a question, I will read it over the air if you want me to. You can also subscribe to the podcast on either your Apple iTunes, to Google Play Store, or Spotify. I'm on there. You can also listen to the podcast on YouTube. All of them are day and date now. So this will hit 7 a.m. on the website. It'll also hit YouTube at 7 a.m. If you just want to listen to it in the background, you can support the podcast by that. I guess you could like and subscribe. It'd be great if I got more subscribers on YouTube, but I understand not a lot of people want to listen to podcasts on YouTube, but it would help me out. So you can go there. You can also find me on Twitter at JustLittleJoe. So please go there. Let me know what you think of the show. And that's it this week. We had a good time, and we're probably going to come back and talk about it again, because we're going to do, I think, both these things again. Excuse me. We're probably going to play Shredder's Revenge again, and we will probably play Here to Slay again. So have a good week, guys, and be safe. Bye.